Hey guys, what's up? It's Zero here, and we're doing a rune video today. I'm going to be going over the Energy Set. I'm going to be doing a few videos here in a row, going over a bunch of the different runes and where some of the sets can be good and what use they would have. So, as you can see here, I've got all of my energy runes pulled up, and we're going to go over some of these that I have. I'm going to go over where to get them. A lot of your energy sets are used early and mid game. There are a few uses for them in the end game. Some monsters use them, especially if some of them get some good rolls on them, and you're needing to boost that monster's HP by a little bit. You can substitute in an energy set until you can get a better rune set of what you want to put on them. Currently, I've got my Ramagos pulled up here. He is in a full 6 set of runes for energy. If you look over here, or if I pull up one of these runes, you will see that every 2 runes that you wear will give you an additional 15% HP. These runes also come from the first campaign area in the game. You will start off farming up these runes, and then once you beat this stage, and for each stage there are 7 levels. Each level pertains to a rune slot. 1 through 6 will drop one of each of those runes from that slot, and stage 7, which is the boss stage for that particular campaign area, has a chance to drop any of the runes from any of the slots, and they can be a slightly better grade than the runes that you would have picked up from each one of the different levels. So each stage, as you can see here, has a star value. All right, you get that star if you can complete that entire campaign stage. 1 for normal, 1 for hard, 1 for hell difficulty. I do believe also the runes drop in normal difficulty. I believe you have 1 to a 3-star chance, so the rune can have stars. We'll go back over here and check. Each of the runes have a star value, 1 star to 6 star. And for energy runes, for normal, you can get a 1 to a 3 star. And for hard difficulty, I believe you can get a 2 to a 4 star. And then on hell difficulty, you have a chance to get a 3, 4, or a 5-star rune. I also believe that from each of the stages, you can only get normal or uncommon, which would be a green gem. The letters here in the middle for the energy, it would be green for uncommon, it would be white for a normal, blue, I don't know if I have any blue ones, blue here, blue would be for rare, and purple is for epic, and the gold orange here is for legendary. So normal runes that drop will have no substats. If you can see right here underneath, they will have no substats for normal. A uncommon will have just 1, so it'd be the first one up here. A rare would have 2, so it'd be 2 listed here. And then for this one, which is an epic, it has 3, and then legendaries come with all 4. And I'll show you one here. It's not leveled up, so they would look like this. It'd just be all 4 different substats. with the example that I have here for Ramagos, um, he is an HP type monster. All of his attack skills deal damage based off of his HP. He has 2 attack skills. The first one is Thrash, deals damage proportionate to his max HP, and his last one here um, attacks an enemy based on the amount of damage you've taken. So he's a pretty good monster to use early in the game, and getting a full energy set on him and using him out until you are able to farm up some better monsters. He would be really good to use early in the game. You would definitely want to put energy on him all the way through, and you would also want to put HP percentages in those runes. So that's just an example of how you would build up him and use him early and mid game to fill out your team. Back to the runes. So energy runes will drop from stage 1. You will farm those up on a few of your champions that are going to be provided to you in the beginning. You have an option. You can just farm through each stage and just get what you need to fill out your champions and just keep progressing through the campaign. My personal recommendation would be to get your monsters runed and get through the campaign up to a certain point, because some monsters are going to be given to you at a later time, and one of those monsters could be your early game farmer, to help farm runes and to help level up your monsters, so you can build a better team. With the energy runes, you always, with the exception of speed, want to try and find a percent stat right here, whether it is attack, defense, or HP. You would like to get that here. Speed is the only exception. Speed will always be flat, and that's fine. Also, when you're going through and getting your rune sets, if you do luck out and get some 2 and 3 star runes as you're farming through, I would recommend taking 2 and 3 star runes, depending on their rarity and depending on the substats you get. Take those to either +6 or +9. And you can see down here in the bottom corner of the runes what level they're currently sitting at. Anything that's blank has not been leveled up yet. I would recommend taking 2 and 3 star runes to +6 or +9. If they're decent, you could go a little bit higher, but going through the early part of the game, leveling them up to max is not necessary. I would recommend save your mana, just level them up to either 6 or 9, and keep going. You will get better runes later on, and you can play with those once you get to that point. I would also recommend, if you haven't done a little research ahead of time, try and find about 4 or 5 monsters that would work well together, and I will put some other videos out dealing with all the different rune sets, early game runes, beginner teams, building stuff to help progress as quick as possible and not get sidetracked, not get overwhelmed, and to kind of put you on the right track to get into the late mid game as early as possible without losing too much time. I have been playing the game for about 5 years. I had some ideas of doing some videos a few years ago. but it did not work out. But now I'm going to try and get a bunch of these videos out for you guys, updated videos. There are quite a few content creators out there that do really good videos, but there's just not as many to date videos as far as beginner. I'm also probably going to put together either a stream and or a video series. I'm going to roll basically a brand new account on another server and start from scratch. It will be a free-to-play account, and basically what I'm just going to do is I'm going to take my main account, jump over to a different available server, and start from scratch on that server. And I mean, you'll be able to swap between the two different servers, so my main account will always be here, but I'm going to do a free-to-play on a different server. And I may start getting some of those videos put together too, and just start from the very beginning and go from there. That'll be a work in progress. Currently I'm just doing these runes. So what you would like to try and do is, with this set here, get a few of these on a few of your beginning monsters, progress through the game. Some of your other monsters you will switch to other rune sets. I'm going to try and go over those rune sets, get a few of these videos up. For some of you new players, there's going to be 3 sets in the beginning that you're going to want to try and focus on. That's going to be this set, the energy set. The next video I'm going to do is going to be for the fatal set, which is an attack damage set. And then the last set I'm going to go over is a blade set, which is your critical chance set. Those are going to be the 3 sets you're going to basically combine and put together on the monsters you start off with to progress into being able to go and get different sets later. Those 3 sets are also going to be the primary sets that you would farm out of the campaign. Once you can farm up a decent 2 and 3 star set of those runes for each of the different monsters you're going to play with, you could actually break into the dungeons, and I will go over those later also, and get better quality runes out of the dungeon to replace those with. But for now, the energy set comes from stage 1. You definitely want to try and go over the 2, 4, and 6 slot. You would like a percentage amount in there of some type. A lot of your early monsters will probably just deal with either HP in all 3 slots, or a couple of them you may want to put an attack percent in there, but you definitely want a percentage in all of those slots, except for 2 if you get a speed. It'll never be a percentage. I will also do a video here in a while going over some of the early game monsters that you will build to progress to mid game, and some of those monsters you can even keep and use those in game. Some of them are used, some of them some people build 2 of those types of monsters because they'll use the one to progress to mid game, and then some of those monsters are also not too shabby in the arena, so they would build another one strictly for arena. Some will just rerune later once they get the monster and get to where they need to get. They'll pull all the runes off and then rerune it to save them from having to build 2 different monsters. But the energy set is an HP set. It's a 2 rune set. Ramagos is a good option to rune in all energy. You would like to give him a bit of an attack. If you can find attack substats on some of his runes, then you would want to go with those, but you want to also try and get HP at least a percentage on every rune. HP percent rolls on all of the runes, I believe, as a substat, and then on the 3, 2, 4, and 6 runes, they'll roll as a main stat. But building him up, getting him up to 4 or 5 star, and using him to break into some of the dungeons with your main team would not be harmful. He is slow, unfortunately, but he can take a hit and dish it right back out. But those are your energy runes. Definitely go ahead, leave any comments. I'm going to be hitting the fatal runes and the blade runes in the next few videos. Thanks and have a great day.